Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is a beautiful day to dissect the absolute chaos unfolding in Port Charles. And trust me, we have a lot to unpack. I need to talk about Britt Westbourne, and I need to talk about her right now because my head is absolutely spinning from what the writers are setting up. Can we be honest about this for a second? The moment you hear the name Cassius on General Hospital, you know that the ground is about to fall out from under someone. And right now, that someone is Britt. The fact that Britt is actively pursuing new information about her father is not just a casual plot point. It is a lit match in a room full of gasoline, and I am sitting here watching the writers strike the match with absolute fascination and sheer, unadulterated dread. As someone who studies the mechanics of how these stories are built, I can tell you right now that this is not a redemption arc. This is a trap. And the way it is being executed is both brilliantly terrifying and incredibly frustrating. Let me say this clearly because I feel like some viewers are missing the absolute gravity of this situation. Britt Westbourne is not a naive rookie. She is a woman who has survived the darkest, most twisted family dynamics imaginable. She knows exactly who and what Cassius was. She knows the body count attached to his legacy, so why, in the name of all that is holy, is she digging back into this nightmare? From a scriptwriter's perspective, I understand the irresistible pull of the sins of the father trope. It is the bread and butter of daytime television. We love to see children confront the demons of their parents. But Britt, doing this now, at this specific moment, feels like a death wish. She is willingly walking back into the shadow of a man who destroyed everything he touched. And she is dragging the people she loves right into the crossfire. And who does she enlist to help her? Anna Devane. Am I supposed to pretend that this makes sense? Am I supposed to just sit back and watch Britt put her life in the hands of a woman who is currently unraveling at the seams? I am sorry, but this did not work for me on a logical level, even though I see exactly what the writers are doing narratively. Anna has agreed to investigate and provide Britt with this classified information. On paper, Anna is the perfect person for the job. She is a legendary spy. She knows the face-on history intimately, and she has the clearance. But we, the audience, know the terrifying truth that Britt does not. Anna Devane is currently being psychologically tormented by hallucinations of Peter August. Because let us really look at what is happening with Anna. She is hearing the voice of Peter August, the very embodiment of Faison's toxic legacy, echoing in her head. She is compromised, she is fractured, and yet she is the one holding the keys to Britt's investigation. This is where I have to give the writers a standing ovation while simultaneously wanting to throw my remote at the screen. It is a masterclass in dramatic irony. Britt thinks she has a powerful, stable ally in Anna, but Anna is drowning in her own psychological horror. The tension here is almost unbearable. Every time Anna promises to help Britt, I am screaming at the television because Anna cannot even trust her own mind right now, let alone protect Britt from the lethal forces she is waking up. Then we have Liesl Obrecht, and this is where the story elevates from a standard espionage plot to a deeply emotional, tragic masterpiece. When Britt reveals to her mother that Anna has agreed to investigate Cassius, the reaction from Liesl is not just worry, it is primal, visceral terror. I have studied Liesl's character arc for years, and I know exactly when she is playing a game and when she is genuinely terrified. In that moment, Liesl is not a former supervillain. She is a desperate mother staring down the barrel of a gun aimed right at her daughter's head. Liesl knows the espionage world. She knows the dark, blood-soaked corridors of the WSB better than anyone. And her immediate panic is the most authentic, chilling reaction I have seen on this show in months. Liesl explicitly warns Britt not to let herself become indebted to the WSB, and she is entirely right. Can we please acknowledge the absolute truth of Liesl's warning? The WSB is not a charity organization. They are not the good guys in shining armor who hand out favors out of the goodness of their hearts. They are a ruthless intelligence apparatus that trades in human lives, leverage, and blackmail. Liesl understands that if the WSB gives Britt information about Cassius Faison, they will own her. They will put a price tag on that favor, and when they come to collect, it will cost Britt everything. The writers are using Liesl as the voice of reason here, which is a brilliant subversion of her usual chaotic role. Liesl is the prophet of doom, and nobody is listening. But here is the absolute tragedy of soap opera storytelling, and it is a structural beat that I recognize instantly. Liesl's desperate attempt to save her daughter is exactly what is going to push Britt over the edge. By reacting with such intense fear and issuing such dire warnings, Liesl is inadvertently confirming to Britt that there is something massive hidden in the shadows. Britt is stubborn. We know this. If you tell Britt not to look behind a door, she is going to kick that door off its hinges. Liesl's panic is validating Britt's dangerous curiosity. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Liesl is trying to pull Britt away from the fire, but her frantic pulling is only making Britt fight harder to step directly into the flames. And the stakes are not just theoretical. They are not just about owing a favor. We know from the timeline that Anna is simultaneously trying to piece together a massive, active plot to eliminate Britt Westbourne. Let me repeat that for emphasis. There is a plot to eliminate Britt. Someone out there wants her dead, and it is directly tied to this investigation. The writers are building a pressure cooker, and the lid is about to blow. Britt is out here playing detective, thinking she is just uncovering old family secrets, completely unaware that a sniper's laser is already resting on her chest. And the only person who can see the pieces of this assassination plot is Anna, who is currently taking mental advice from the ghost of Peter August. The sheer level of danger here is suffocating. I have to ask, what is the WSB's angle in all of this? Why would they even entertain giving Anna or Britt this information unless they were setting a trap? I am absolutely convinced that the WSB is using this Cassius Faison intel as bait. They know Britt wants it, they know Anna will try to get it for her, and they are using that predictable emotional response to lure Britt into a kill zone. The WSB does not leave loose ends, and the Faison bloodline is the biggest, messiest loose end in their entire history. Liesl's warning is not just maternal paranoia, it is a factual assessment of how this organization operates. Britt is walking into a slaughterhouse and thinking she is just visiting a library. The emotional weight of this storyline is staggering because it forces every character to confront their deepest traumas. Britt has spent years trying to wash the stain of Cassius Faison off her hands. She became a doctor. She saved lives. She tried to be better than the blood in her veins, and now she is willingly diving back into the mud. It is frustrating to watch, but it is so deeply human. She wants answers. She wants closure. But in the world of General Hospital, closure usually comes in a body bag. The writers are forcing Britt to realize that you cannot outrun your legacy, especially when that legacy is tied to international terrorism and a corrupt intelligence agency. I am predicting right now that this is going to end in absolute catastrophe, and I am here for the drama, but I am terrified for the characters. Anna is going to fail, Britt. I am calling it right now. Anna's hallucinations of Peter are going to cause her to miss a crucial detail in the elimination plot, or they're going to cause her to freeze at the exact moment Britt needs her most. Peter August is going to destroy Britt from beyond the grave by using Anna's fractured mind as his weapon. It is a brilliant, vicious writing choice. And when Anna fails, who is going to be left to pick up the pieces? Liesl. Liesl Obrecht is going to have to go scorched earth to save her daughter. And we all know that when Liesl goes to war, the collateral damage is unimaginable. So I am sitting here watching this train speed toward a broken bridge, and I cannot look away. The writers have successfully woven together the legacy of Cassius Faison, the psychological destruction of Anna Devane, the terrifying reality of the WSB, and the desperate, tragic love of Liesl Obrecht into one explosive narrative. I just pray they stick the landing. Do not give us a cheap cop-out. If Britt is going to owe the WSB, make the price devastating. If Anna is going to break down, make it shatter the canvas. This story has the potential to be one of the greatest, most emotionally devastating arcs of the decade, and I am watching every single frame with my heart in my throat.